And black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them.
Well, if he's right, then why didn't people vote for the former prosecutor who actually had policy plans to help the working class?
Stop saying that Whoopi Goldberg getting yanked from The View right after she attacked me on The View is karma. There's no such thing as karma, sorry. Sorry, but life is random. The only word to describe it when a big game hunter gets trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions is hilarious.
Bill Maher is out here dismantling woke arguments like it's his full-time job, and his latest target is none other than Whoopi Goldberg. Let's be real, the actress had it coming, given her ever-growing list of cringeworthy statements since 2022. Maher didn't just criticize her. He verbally disassembled her piece by piece in a takedown so savage it left Whoopi scrambling for cover like a cartoon character dodging anvils. Oh, what exactly did Goldberg say this time to earn Maher's unfiltered wrath? And how did his clapback leave the woke crowd reeling? Don't worry, we've got all the juicy details right here. Buckle up, folks. This isn't just a bumpy ride. It's a full-blown roller coaster with no seatbelts.
Got to get past this endless, unforgiving, zero-tolerance mindset bent on punishing and disappearing anyone caught saying the wrong thing. The right response to speech you don't like is more...
Whoopi Goldberg has poked the bear, and now she's facing the claws of brutal truth. And trust me, it's not a pretty sight. Remember our last video, when Bill Maher shredded Sunny Hostin for twisting his words to fit her narrative? Well, it looks like the View crew isn't taking that L quietly. This time, Whoopi Goldberg is stepping up, apparently on a revenge mission to deliver their pound of flesh. Seems Sunny couldn't handle the heat Maher brought, so she called in reinforcements. None other than Whoopi herself. And boy, did she come in hot, ready to rumble like a contestant in a reality show nobody asked for.
People can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them.
Well, if he's right, then why didn't people vote for the former prosecutor who actually had policy plans to help the working...
Classic Whoopi. Spoiler alert, Goldberg is flipping through the woke playbook like it's her last line of defense. When your argument starts sinking faster than the Titanic, what do? Easy. Whip up a straw man attack. Bill Maher was making a clear, simple point about how Black Americans are doing better in a stronger economy. You know, real policies and results. But then along comes Whoopi, rambling about voting for a former prosecutor with plans for the working class. Does it connect? Nope. Does it make sense? Not even close. It's like she's throwing darts while blindfolded, hoping something sticks. Spoiler alert. It doesn't. And Maher? He wasn't about to let that slide.
Statues of Lincoln and get rid of the police. Just, no. It's not that I've gotten old, it's that your ideas are stupid.
Bill Maher didn't mince words. He flat out called out Whoopi's ideas as nonsensical, which, let's be honest, is pretty much par for the course on The View. The show has become the political talk show equivalent of a train wreck. Painful to watch, yet somehow impossible to look away from. Sure, The View is known for its controversial, and let's face it, often questionable, takes on just about everything. But Sunny Hostin and Whoopi Goldberg have managed to take that chaos to new heights with their utterly outrageous commentary. Remember when Charlemagne the God braved the set as a guest? You could practically see him wondering if he'd stumbled into some kind of alternate reality.
It's valid because, Democrats stand on this moral high ground all the time and, they act so self-righteous. The reality is he didn't have to say anything in regards to, whether or not, his son wanted to be pardoned. He could have said, hey, man, I'm not for...
Here's the backstory. President Biden, the self-proclaimed champion of no one being above the law, just pardoned his son, Hunter Biden, after he was found guilty of corruption and other related offenses. Talk about family values, right? Predictably, this move set off a firestorm of criticism. After all, how do you square no one is above the law with your own son getting a free pass? It's almost like saying justice is blind, unless your last name is Biden. Hunter's guilt was as obvious as a toddler caught with cookie crumbs on his face, yet somehow, accountability never made it onto the family calendar. And that was exactly Charlemagne's point. If the so-called woke crowd insists that no one is above the law, then they should live by that same standard. Simple enough, right? Well, Whoopi thought otherwise.
Stop you for a second.
Uh-oh.
Only because you don't know that it was a lie. We don't know why he changed
You
his
really think he just changed his mind over Thanksgiving weekend all
No,
of a sudden?
I'm going to tell you what I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he changed his mind because he got sick of watching everybody else get over.
And there you have it, another eye-roll-inducing gem from the queen of cringe herself, Whoopi Goldberg. This time, Whoopi actually claimed that President Biden didn't lie when he said no one was above the law. Really, Whoopi? Because there's a mountain of evidence, video, audio, and probably even cave paintings, proving he said exactly that.
Principle that there are no kings in America. Each of us is equal before the law. No one is.
Watching Whoopi tell a blatant lie is like watching someone confidently argue the sky isn't blue while standing under a cloudless sky. At this point, her mental gymnastics could qualify her for the Olympics, though she'd probably trip over her own logic halfway through the routine. You could see the shock on Charlemagne's face as she spoke, but Whoopi didn't stop there. She actually claimed that maybe Biden just changed his mind because he was tired of people taking advantage of him. Charlemagne was left completely stunned, speechless, even.
I'm just going to follow the straight and narrow always, because that's what's expected of Democrats.
But that's their fault. They're the ones that
You're
go out.
mis-
They're the ones that go out there and they stand on this moral high ground.
You see, the problem with the woke mob is that they only call out wrongdoing when the offender isn't part of their exclusive club. But when the guilty party is one of their own, the outrage magically turns into a whispered defense, or a convenient case of selective amnesia, of course. Whoopi and her crew got away with their usual shenanigans while Charlemagne was on the show. But when Bill Maher caught wind of their antics, he basically said, "Hold my beer," and delivered one of the most brutal verbal eviscerations we've heard in a long time.
Truth to power, and we always should, but you have completely lost the ability to speak truth.
Maher couldn't have said it better. The woke mob loves to parade themselves as the ultimate truth tellers and moral compasses, but their double standards were laid bare for everyone to see this time. Hunter Biden was guilty, plain and simple, yet because his father happens to sit in the Oval Office, he walks away without so much as a slap on the wrist. If this were anyone else, the mob would be demanding their head on a silver platter. But when it's one of their own, justice suddenly takes a back seat to favoritism. It's hypocrisy at its finest, and Maher was absolutely right to call it out for what it is. A complete farce. The real question now is, how much longer will Americans put up with this two-faced behavior? This isn't just about Hunter. It's about a system that bends over backward for the powerful while throwing the book at everyone else. Maher's takedown wasn't just timely. It was a wake-up call for anyone still clinging to the illusion of fairness. And here's where it gets interesting. Maher pointed out that the woke mob doesn't operate alone. They often get an assist from the mainstream media.
To bury the Hunter Biden.
You're talking about the press doing that?
He's saying that's what they did, and that is what they did. They buried the Hunter Biden story before the election because they were like, we can't risk having the election thrown to Trump. We'll tell them after the election.
And we know for a fact that that's what they did?
Of course, you don't
but
follow
I'm
this.
saying you know for a fact that that's what they did. I don't know what they did.
I know, because you only...
The media bent over backward to downplay the Hunter Biden scandal, working overtime to shield President Biden and derail Trump's re-election bid. Major outlets dismissed the story as Russian disinformation, despite mounting evidence, all while censoring dissenting voices that dared to question the narrative. Whoopi Goldberg eagerly joined the chorus on The View, scoffing at the legitimacy of the allegations. But Maher wasn't having it. He called her out for playing defense instead of seeking the truth, dismantling her excuses, and exposing the blatant hypocrisy for everyone to see.
Above any matters of politics or what's right or wrong, the one thing I know for sure about America is this. It's run by mean girls. Mean girls in the press and in politics and in life. And when they smell blood in the water, the lust to finish off a vulnerable person will never be.
Maher was spot on. The ladies of The View, especially Whoopi Goldberg, aren't just woke. They're like a pack of sharks circling, ready to tear apart anyone who dares to challenge their ideology. Their version of debate isn't about truth or open discussion. It's about silencing dissent and enforcing their worldview with sneers and snark. Whoopi, in particular, has perfected the art of dismissing opposing voices with a simple wave of her hand, as if differing opinions are beneath her. Maher, however, wasn't afraid to call them out, exposing their tactics for what they really are, bullying disguised as activism. It's no wonder he's become a thorn in their side, consistently shining a light on their hypocrisy for viewers who are fed up with one-sided narratives. Maher's takedowns feel like a breath of fresh air in a room full of stale arguments.
As if the voters don't live here. As if they don't go to the grocery store and Starbucks and the office. But they do. What a poll last year asked, if America is the greatest country in the world, more blacks and Hispanic Americans agreed with that than the white progressives. It asked if racism is built into our society. White progressives agreed with that at higher levels than black and Hispanic people. It asked if government should increase border security. Same result. Hispanic Americans are less okay with illegal immigration than whitey. And black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them. Black people, they're just like us.
Maher argues that the woke mob needs to stop clutching their pearls over Trump's win and start facing reality. He didn't steal it, cheat for it, or conjure it out of thin air. He won it fair and square because millions of Americans liked what he was selling, no matter how much it made the progressive left groan. Instead of blaming Russia, racism, or whatever scapegoat is trending on Twitter this week, maybe it's time to accept that democracy means sometimes the other team scores. It's not a glitch. It's the system working exactly as intended. The sooner they stop playing the victim and start playing strategist, the better their chances will be in 2028 or even 2032.
Of Trump voters, people who really like him, they certainly are those. And then there's people who don't necessarily like him that much, but they still think he's less crazy than stuff that strikes them as aggressively anti.
Bill Maher nails it again. Not everyone who voted for Trump is hosting MAGA rallies in their backyard or swearing fealty to a golden statue. A lot of them simply held their noses and cast their votes because they were tired of the Democrats' sanctimonious sermons and the woke mob's increasingly anti-common sense agenda. Let's be real. When you're cheering for biological men to dominate women's sports or hosting rallies that seem suspiciously sympathetic to groups like Hamas, you're going to lose a chunk of the electorate. People didn't vote for Trump because they loved his tweets or his tanning glow. They did it because the alternative felt like sitting through a lecture from a self-righteous vegan at a barbecue. If the left wants to win again, maybe it's time to stop alienating the middle by embracing every fringe idea in the activist playbook and start focusing on what actually makes sense to the average American.
Saying that Whoopi Goldberg getting yanked from The View right after she attacked me on The View is karma. There's no such thing as karma, sorry. Sorry, but life is random. The only word to describe it when a big game hunter gets trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions is hilarious.
Yep, it's comedy gold. Bill Maher didn't just deliver the final nail in Whoopi Goldberg's coffin. He practically built the whole thing himself, laughing at the absurdity of it all. Whoopi, the self-appointed high priestess of the woke mob, decided to take a swing at Maher for daring to think for himself. Big mistake. Maher's response was vintage Bill. Sharp, unapologetic, and devastatingly funny. He pointed out the irony of a co-host on The View, a show that claims to be a forum for diverse opinions, attacking him simply for having one she didn't like. It's a little rich, isn't it? A group that constantly preaches tolerance seems to think the word means tolerating only their opinions. Maher, as usual, wasn't having it. He exposed the hypocrisy of the woke echo chamber that Whoopi and her crew inhabit, a place where critical thinking is replaced by tribal loyalty and dissent is treated like heresy. Watching Maher dismantle their flimsy arguments was like watching Picasso paint. Only his tools were sarcasm and logic. And with that, we draw the curtains on today's episode. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.